Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2 Cents Live, and this stream right here is not brought to you by Micah Curtis's Inglewood Book 2. And you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is Inglewood? Well, fortunately for you, I have a video reviewing the first Inglewood book where you can learn all about what the hell Inglewood even is in the first place. All you need to know about Inglewood is a street-level superhero crowdfunded independent comic book. That's a lot of words there, stick with me please. Inglewood Book 2 is exactly what it is. It's Book 2. It's the sequel. And fortunately for you, check Inglewood Book 2 today on Indiegogo. There are multiple tiers that you can choose from, including a tier where you can get both the first and second book. So what are you waiting for? Back Inglewood Book 2 today. And if you can't back it at the moment, well, don't worry. Spread the word to those who can.
A lot by James Bond when creating Lupin.
Huh.
In fact, he wanted every other chapter in the manga to include a new girl, because in Bond would always have a new girl.
Right.
Yeah,
there's always a Bond girl.
Yeah, but I actually read up on this. Is that he just got tired of he decided to no, it's just one character.
Huh.
Yeah, and then he introduced Fujiko. It's like, I could just put Fujiko, and Fujiko's just been. That's why her appearance keeps changing. So it's just, I'll just have this character, and she's the eternal Bond girl.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting.
AKA the eternal cock tease.
You learn something new every day. So, welcome everyone to 2 Cents Live. We still only have 2 viewers right now, and
Let me guess, it's Rias and Chelsea, I bet.
if they are, they're not in the chat, surprisingly, which means I could probably guess one thing. Last week was daylight savings time, so now things are getting a little later than usual. Like for me, the sun sets around 5 o'clock now where I am, so it's like, Jesus, time flies by fast.
Yeah, this week sucks for me, just because
this week in general, I felt. It just feels like in general this week was kind of a bad week. I had a lot of own personal stuff that happened this week, and that was a mess. But just in general, this week felt off. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, for me, it's the obvious. It's like, oh, daylight savings.
Yeah, daylight savings does a number on people.
Yeah, especially this one because of over here in the Northeast. It gets dark out, around 5 for us, and so you have the energy. It's like, oh, it should be around. Right now, I feel like where I'm at midnight or 1 o'clock, and it's only 11:13.
Yeah, because daylight savings is just an absolute bitch. Yeah. So also what's interesting is I notice a lot of my views is mostly in replays and rewatches. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, which makes sense. But the thing is, hopefully next week when I do the 2 Cents Live 3 Nights review, since it will be just one subject and it will just be covering just one book, it'll be a much significantly shorter stream, so I could probably push it up to late afternoon rather than late night. And usually late afternoon, the internet for me is pretty good as well. It's always like this. I've ranted about Spectrum how many times now, but for some reason it's always it's around 6 o'clock when the internet usually just spazzes out. If I start streaming around that time, my connection's usually not that good. But even then, it looks like no. It just depends on what day it is.
Well, yeah, like last week, you had.
Yeah, last week I had connection issues, and I don't know what that was. So it looks like people are probably just gonna. A lot more people are gonna watch this in the replays rather than live. But like I said, next week, which I guess is an announcement to take care of first of all. Next week will be a different type of stream, a different kind of 2 cents live, where I will be doing a 2 cents review, but live on Twitch. I'll be reviewing Micah Curtis's other book, 3 Nights, 4 Days, and so look forward to that next Saturday. And because it will be significantly shorter, and we'll just all be talking about one thing, I'll push it up to usually you guys are available around like 3 to 4 Eastern, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much available all day, barring me working an extra day at work or something.
Okay. But usually you're available around then.
Yeah.
So then then I could probably push it to around like 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which would be like around 6 where you guys are, which is not too late, but it's, not early, but it's usually around the same time as Sundays when we watch Gundam Seed.
Yay! Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if for those who don't know where we are at Gundam Seed, we saw Arthur use a cat's shield to.
Yeah, he fucking tossed his shield and just decapitated a guy. It's like, whoa!
And by the way, we were supposed to care for them because he's just like a side character on the ship.
Yeah, but it's like,
yeah,
no, I don't really care for him. But it's like I get it. It's kind of a gory scene, but like that's not what bothers me. It's like it feels so out of place for something like, I guess, like Gundam. Just like, whoa, he just straight up decapitated the guy. Like, just damn. And like, it's just so nonchalantly just tossed it, and then the guy's just head's just not even cut off. It's not even a clean cut. It's just like a splurge of blood. It's like, whoa, see.
Yeah, and then the episode before.
Oh no! What?
Oh, I was just mentioning the episode before that is like the most funniest death in all of anime.
Where Kira doesn't even have the decency to cleave Nicole in half. He just leaves the sword just stuck in the mobile suit, and he just microwaves to death.
Yeah. And then Nicole, and then meanwhile, sad piano music is being played.
You killed Kira! Arsrin, you killed Nicole! He liked to play the piano!
That was literally the next episode because they keep showing that clip.
They kept Do you know how many times they flash back to Nicole's death in that episode? It's outrageous. It's like, we get it. We get it. You don't need to show us him dying over and over again. It's like, oh my god.
Remember when I said that one of the core tenets, one of the core pillars of why people like Seed is because of the violence? Is because if you ever notice, a lot of Gundam is more or less bloodless.
Yeah, most of the deaths are off screen. You see the aftermath, but not.
Well, I mean, there's not really much to show blood-wise when most of the time you're focusing on which mobile suit's being destroyed.
And or people being crushed by buildings, or or after
But,
gassing, or
like there's
colony drops.
like there's sure there can be gory scenes in Gundam, but like the amount of like blood in Seed in that like scene felt off for Gundam, at least for me. Like
all of a sudden, Gundam guy has taken over production.
That would be something you would see in like Get a Robo, like just some guy's body just cut off in half and just a fountain of blood. That would be something you would see in like that. Not really Gundam.
It feels arcade. It feels like we put blood because oh man, look, the blood will look cool and all that stuff. And Gundam really never cared about showing their deaths as awesome or cool.
Well,
yeah.
Usually, well, like the thing about Gundam is usually deaths are not supposed to be glorified. It's supposed to show you it either has a significant meaning for like the character, or it's supposed to show you like, oh Jesus, this kind of sucks. But it's never.
Or it's like, yeah, that guy got what he deserved.
And even then, like if they want to show you an awesome death, like if they wanted to glorify death, they wouldn't really. They usually don't show that amount of blood.
Yeah, they didn't show Lady Cassilia's head getting blown.
I don't think the like what's the like goriest UC show out there besides Victory? Because Victory's not gory.
No, the only time you ever see blood is during the unfortunate beheading scene.
Huh.
Surprisingly, the show with the guillotine is
pretty
not
tame on the gore. So just all of a sudden for C to just have this guy cleaved in half by a shield, and then just fountain of blood come out of the cockpit. It's like Jesus.
Yeah, that's kind of what became it. It's like what you say. It kind of became uncharacteristic for Gundam because it's just it doesn't fit.
No, it doesn't. But anyways, oh wow, we had a third viewer and then he went away. Probably got turned off by us complaining about Seed. Too bad, Seed sucks.
Yeah, it's probably Serena.
It's probably Serena.
I bet it's Serena. Wait, oh no, Mecha, no.
No more Gundam talk. But anyways, we do have a show to do, so we gotta move on. So
yep.
So let me just make sure everything's set up properly here on my end. Okay, so first off, since it is pretty late on your end, Shadow, and this was one of the things that was advertised for this specific show, Najano, will be talking about a comic. One of the independent comics out there, Daniel Parker's Angel's Awakening.
Yep. So for disclaimers, all of us in the panels have personal interactions with Daniel Parker. Like I wouldn't say we're friends. Like we are acquainted. We're acquainted.
Yeah.
Like. And so,
one of my favorite American Dad jokes.
Of course.
We're friends. We're friendly. We're friendly to Daniel Parker. Friendly. Not friends. Strangers. Not friendly. Not friends. Strangers.
Actually,
okay, but
let me link Daniel Parker's YouTube channel in the chat.
Yeah. Yep. Also, like he does a weekly podcast also on YouTube with Darth Bobcat
Every Tuesday.
Yeah, every Tuesday, and they talk about story topic, and both of them are writers. So this is Daniel Parker's first official published thing
yes,
first comic, and it's the first one of a series that he was originally going to make into novels, but he decided to make it into a comic instead. So, yeah,
that actually kind of explains a lot now.
Yeah, so this, I will say this: Angel's Awakening, the basic plot is there's a female agent who has the ability for teleporting. She has one job. She has to go into Britannia, who has taken over all the world except for Texas. Texas is the only free country in the world that is not ruled by Britannia. So,
Texas is showing American pride.
Insert any Code Geass joke here.
Wait, is that a plot point in Code Geass? Texas is the only free
No. Britannia being control of the entire world.
Oh.
That's the name of the empire that whooshes takes over. And
God, Code Geass just sounds so confusing at times.
yeah, it's surprisingly Code Geass. Anyway, but anyway,
we can talk more about that afterwards.
Yeah, but our main character is Jessica Sawyer. Her job is simple. After her first job as a special cyber-enhanced psychic, is to go to Britannia's main homeland, so England, and recover a box. A big box.
What's in the box?
And on her way, she encounters this elemental lady. So I will say this: out of all the Comicscape book I have purchased and read, this has been the strongest.
I agree. Daniel consider himself Comicscape?
Not officially.
Not officially. I don't really care much about Comicscape.
Yeah, independent comics.
Independent comics. That's really the important thing. Whether you're a Comicscape or not, independent comics.
I would say this has been the strongest one. Probably the second strongest is like a Six Gun Gorilla.
I've been meaning to find a way to get Six Gun Gorilla. Because usually I never have the money whenever I want to get it.
I think it's still available. You can get the latest stuff.
Is it? I'll check it. I'll check it out after the stream.
Yep. Anyway, so what I enjoyed about this book is the way Daniel has managed to incorporate world building into the story without making it natural, without feeling like I'm getting dumped on. The only exception is the beginning, just to get Jessica's backstory.
Which
everything else,
I mean, it makes sense. Like who the hell is this character? Well, we gotta get the stuff out of the way.
Yeah, and then when you have most of the story is just most of the stuff with Jessica Sawyer is in her head, because the only time she talks is when she's battles this elemental chick.
Whose cooch is covered only by water.
Yeah, I'll get to a minor issue with that, but
Ninjato's Puritans coming out.
Well, it's not that, like, I don't care. It's more of actually in terms of story mechanics.
Okay.
That I have the issue. So, and then the one thing you will also notice is the artist. The artist is Bogdan Rosetta. Yeah. And the art, it's taking a while for this to grow on me. It has this weird... It has like this otherworldly nature to it, which I know he's working with Micah Curtis on a horror book, and it works. I know it's going to work very well. But when it comes...
Wait. Oh, no. No, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, First Servant.
Alright, let me get
but when it comes to normal... Like a normal environment, like at the beginning, it's not that. It looks a little bit weird and off, but then once it gets into like the action, like she gets on her suit, and then all of a sudden the more cyberpunk aspects comes out, and it's like, oh yes, that's when the arc becomes really good. So, like, it's a good I'm being light on this because this is like the first official release of Daniel Parker, and I think Bogdan Rosetta in terms of comics. So, like, for a first issue ever done by this creative team, like each of these creators, it's very good. Now, and it's also nice that after the story, which is 32 pages, and within that 32 pages, I was satisfied. I had a good beginning, middle, and end, and I got a little bit of hook to set up for the next big thing. And I like also the lore stuff that basically is giving hints of what the story is building up to. Like of all the character profiles, and just like the Free Republic of America, the Britannian Empire, yada yada yada. Now, I would say my biggest problem is that I felt like the villain was not threatening enough.
Okay.
And it actually one of the problems is actually her design, mainly because the way the story goes. So the story kind of exposed that she has a certain weakness to electricity. And yes, Daniel tries to like add variety on like not getting the same trick twice, but my first read through, I felt like she was kind of easy to overcome, and partly is, and I think in my head is more her design. Like seeing her get defeated twice, almost the exact same way, made me think, why is she naked other than like sex appeal? This is actually more of a detriment to her character. Like you would think she would wear like a rubber undersuit so that she doesn't get simply zapped.
Well, it's fan service. That's what it is.
Well, I don't mind fan service, right? I don't mind it. I'm neutral on it. But when it becomes giving you like all of a sudden you have an obvious thing happen to them that would have been avoided if that person was more sensible in the outfit, it makes the threat it doesn't make the villain intimidating. And like I felt like she was just like a minor obstacle, even though the story was trying to sell that she was a big threat, because at the first fight, like Jessica got beat up.
She almost died.
Yeah, she almost died, and I was definitely sold. I was never given the impression throughout the story. By the way, like just to clarify, I was never given the impression that Jessica herself is like Doomslayer or something, like super invincible.
She's not gonna put on Samus's armor, just wreck shit.
Yeah, I felt like the appropriate level was like, yes, she's good. She has but she's not that strong. It's just that the villain, I felt, didn't seem very competent.
Well, you don't always need a smart villain.
Right. I just wish they kind of highlighted the aspect that she was not that smart.
I think certain things, like if a villain's stupid or not, I think you don't necessarily need to point it out. Oh, look how stupid they are. Like I think like you could get it across just with their actions alone. Like, they're kind of not too bright.
Yeah, I am looking for and also this story, even though it feels like self-contained, it would be like a good short story being part of a pulp magazine. It is definitely also a prologue to something bigger.
It feels like a pilot. Like, if it was like a TV show, this would be like the pilot episode, and then they could just easily rearrange this to be episode 1.
Yep. Yeah. The thing is, though, the only other issue, it is not really much of an issue given what seems to be going on in the next one. I'm not sure that Jessica Sawyer yet. I am sold as her as the protagonist of the big series. She's a good character, but I don't think she's a protagonist. I think she's could be a good
supporting,
like the lead lady.
Okay.
Female lead.
Huh.
So,
what makes you say that?
Well, one thing, the story itself kind of structures saying like, oh, here's an important character. And also I just feel like it seems like she's already kind of most of her arc, like her only arc so far is that she needs to trust people or like work together. Like she's a lone wolf.
So her story arc is the opposite of James Bond and Casino Royale.
Yeah, it's so that's what I think. I'm wondering if that's what Daniel Parker was intending. I wouldn't be surprised. And
interesting.
What's the title of his next one? Like Angel.
Give me a second to look it up.
Yeah, it's
Twitter. Actually, I should probably link Daniel's Twitter too.
Yeah, just keep linking. Like, he deserves it. I would recommend this comic. What?
Guardian Angel.
Yeah.
Guardian Angel.
With a slash between Guardian and Angel.
That makes sense.
Here, I could just link a post he made for Guardian Angel. Give me a second.
Yeah, and I'm not. My criticisms are only minor. It's like it's only a minor qualm. It's not really that big of a deal. No.
Hold on. I gotta press the button. Damn it! Where's the button? Oh, here we go.
Oh, you got.
No, it is clear that I have defeated you in intellectual combat. Hand over your channel and your ass.
I love Choppy.
Yeah, Choppy is awesome. But yeah, this comic is still good. It's a very fun comic to read, and like yeah, I have nothing else really to say other than like that's really my only qualms is that stuff that could be like easily addressed in like sequels, like expanded upon. It's a very solid.
Let me link Daniel's Twitter.
And plus I only paid what, like $25 in all, like $15.
It was, I think the book. I think he said the book was like $20. I mean, the book itself.
It was cheaper. I only got the book itself.
Hold on,
and
let me check. Keep talking. I gotta check my.
Yeah, I got it.
Stuff.
I remember it being like very cheap.
Well, because when he launched the campaign, he already had the book done, which was interesting because I mean, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense for like the first book you ever crowdfunded. You kind of want to make sure people know that your product's gonna actually happen. So, no, I paid $25 for the book. So
it's like a lot of people don't have the money at the time to make the book. So that's why they do crowdfunding, and then some people do have the money and they just go to crowdfunding to act like a storefront.
True. I could go actually. When I do next Saturday, when I do the 2 cents review for 3 nights, I have something to say about crowdfunding and stuff. So
Yeah.
I will say, you know what I really did? You know what's the biggest thing I really liked about Daniel's book that I really like compared to most of the other independent comics I've read so far? I will say this, even though I like him, including Micah's books, I like the fact that while it sets up stuff for future stuff, it's its own self-contained story.
Yeah, that's for me my highest praise.
And like,
is that I am fully satisfied with this book. I don't need to have the urge to. I don't have the sudden need to buy another book that's.
I mean, like, obviously, you know, Daniel and Micah were going for two different things when it comes to their books, but it is something I do appreciate. The idea of you can buy more stuff from Daniel, but if you just read this book alone and nothing else, you will still be pretty satisfied.
I feel like I will look forward to Daniel's next project because I enjoyed the story itself and interested in where all the characters are going, as opposed to I need to buy the book so I can finish the story.
But with indie comics, you want to sort of leave the customer satisfied with how unreliable supply can be.
Yeah.
True.
But then you don't want to leave them wanting more in a bad way.
But then again, you know, it's marketing strategy. You know, like sometimes people market it so, you know, like you want to know what happens next. You get the next book. Okay, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just marketing. That's just what it is.
Well, I would say this. It's like right now, this is like top tier. This and Six Gun Gorilla are like top tier. On there, Micah. Both Micah's books are like that, but on the bottom, definitely I see on my shelf. Xenotype, like, talk about like overall, my problems. A lot of problems with indie crowdfunded books. Like, oh my, I felt like I was not satisfied with that. Just keep thinking about it. Like, the more I think about that book, the more is like you're focusing so much on setting up the overarching story of your comic.
Are you talking about Xenotype?
Yeah, Xenotype. You focus so much. You spend about 200 pages, like it's to set up like overarching story. Yet I don't feel like I understand. I don't like connect well with your main character and his other supporting cast. You're focusing so much on setting up for overall moments.
I should probably go back and read Xenotype. Maybe I'll do a 2 cents review on that. But
I'm always of.
Oh, what'd you say now?
I'm always of the impression that if you write a story, you should always write it like it's going to be your last. Just you can set things up to be, you know, to be explored in the future, but you should focus mainly on giving the reader a story that can work well on its own.
Yeah.
That was the problems I had with Englewood. Like, it feels like the overbloated first part of a story that I'm not going to get to see the end of, possibly.
Yeah, for me, Inglewood felt like a part one, not a chapter one. So that left me wanting more in a bad way. Like, I didn't get enough to feel satisfied.
Well, I already talked about my thoughts on Inglewood, so
Yeah, and again, I do enjoy Inglewood, and like a whole bunch of indie comics I have bought and supported. I do enjoy. There's only like one that's really I felt like it's just the worst stuff and worst aspects of indie crowdfunded. But it's not awful. But it's just compared to...
What was the worst crowdfunding comic book you ever bought?
Probably Xenotype.
Really?
Top of my head. In terms of top of my head, I'm pretty sure there's worse that I've forgotten.
But the one that sticks out to you is Xenotype?
Yeah. Mostly because it's on the shelf. Popping out.
I'm gonna link my review to 2 cents. On 2 cents.
Like, and I know like Liam Gray can write a good story because he did free comics. One of them is in the Xenotype universe, and I felt that was a better chapter 1 than this.
Huh. Interesting. Well, we could talk about our own thoughts on different books.
Yep. I am looking forward to Daniel Parker's next book, Guardian Angel. I'm totally gonna get my own copy on it, and maybe higher tiers if Daniel offers some ones that appeal to me. Of course, the campaign for Angel's Awakening was more showcasing, of course, the female lead.
Well,
which is fine for
it's fan service. That's what it is.
Yeah, but it's just not for me personally. Like I'm not the guy who would buy a body pillow. Even though I will say this in terms of waifus,
would you buy a body pillow of a transformer?
No, but I would say in terms of
Windblade?
waifus. Darn it! Curse you!
There we go! Nick, for Christmas, you better get Nichado a Windblade Dakimaru.
That's gonna cost me shit, and I barely have a budget as is.
Damn it.
Yeah, but I would say in terms of waifu, Jessica could be top tier.
Just
You can probably guess why.
Oh, because she's a brunette.
Yes!
Yeah. Daniel, if you're watching this in the replays, we found I mean, damn it,
Well, you're not wrong.
Damn it, why does everyone here on this panel those names start with N? You got Nick, you got Ninjao, you got Not. It's like, damn it, there's too many N's. Well, I mean, yours is the most unique. It's like just 3 N's is too many N's right there.
Well, you could have just say Zeonic.
Well, I was directing to. I was trying to make fun of you, Ninja. Like, Daniel, if you're watching this or watching this in replays, we know Ninjado's type. You want him to get more hooked, you know what to do. Bring out the brunettes and make their cups extra big.
And dark and black hair is also
just Daniel. Look up Gundam Seed Captain Miru. just look up
Miru Ramos.
Yeah, just look up Gundam Seed Miru, and there you go. That's Ninjado's type.
Also, of course, you have to bring up the Dragon Ball waifu, like green hair. Also, apparently, because I noticed that also in my trend.
Green hair? Well, there you go, Ninjado.
Yeah!
There you go, Daniel. The next, I don't know, maybe have like an elemental of like Earth or something with green hair.
It has to be motherly type figure. Not like mothery, not mothery figure as in personality.
Oh. Well, in that case, I was gonna recommend you a VTuber, but never mind. You will watch more, Ninjado. I will make you watch more. But so, but yeah, so that was Angel's Awakening, the channel's review of it, and I mostly agree with it. You know, some stuff, you know, it's like, but
more my sleep deprived brain of it.
well, you can now rest. You can now rest, Nijaro, because we are now moving on to Not's topic. So Not. Oh, good night.
Have a good night.
Good night, Nijaro.
Night.
I'll catch the rest on the VOD.
On the VOD? Alright. So Not, there's a Fist of the North Star game.
Yes. Yes. Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. Or well, I won't showcase the Japanese title yet. I won't say the Japanese title yet. But yeah, this is a 2018 video game published by Sega and developed by Gakugen no. I'm sorry. This just
Here, let me
yeah. I think this got
see here. Producer. It was published by Sega.
published by Sega, developed by I'm pretty sure I'm almost got it right.
Okay, here we go. I got a Wikipedia page. Ryuga Gotoku Studio. It's apparently an in-house. It's a video game developer in-house of Sega. So.
Yes, they've been around a long time. They 2010 they first started using that name, and it's very important as to why. Because in order to talk about this game, I would need to talk about a game series that is transient. You know, that's very important. Namely, the Yakuza series.
Oh.
Here comes the outstep murder. Sorry. The fact that they add that song for that trailer, and the fact that I know it from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Here comes the outstep murderer. I'm the lyrical gangster murderers. I still love you like that, murderer.
This Fist of the North Star, our talk has been interrupted you by It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I just love the water park montage.
Yes! My back! He's got AIDS!
Birds!
He's got AIDS! Out of the pool, AIDS.
I just love that comment where it goes, okay, there's two ideas you can roll with this. The idea that Charlie genuinely thought that mild water could have worked, or that he knew that wouldn't work and let Frank go instead.
That's my favorite comment on that video.
Yes.
But apparently, so this song was used for Fist of the North Star.
No, for Yakuza.
Oh, for Yakuza. Oh, okay. So why is Yakuza important to this game?
Developers who handled every single game up to the latest one, Like a Dragon. Yakuza 7, as you will. And not only does it run on the same engine that Yakuza 0 and Kiwami does, but it also plays similar to a Yakuza game. So much so that the Japanese name of the game is Hokuto no Gaitaken, which translates to like a North Star, which is a play on the Yakuza, the Yakuza series' Japanese name, like a dragon.
Huh.
So yeah, this game was built up from the ground up to be not only just a Fist of the North Star game, but a Yakuza spin-off.
Huh.
So
Wait, so Yakuza is connected to Fist of the North Star? Canonically?
Well, in a way, canonically, yes, because because 100% completion upon completing 100% completion, give it away because whatever. You fight the series staple boss, Amon.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a character that you fight during, like, in nearly all Yakuza games.
Huh.
He's the super secret special boss that you get after 100% completing the game.
Huh.
So, and it's like he shows up in Fist and North Star too. So yeah, it's like and so yeah, it's like virtually Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise, it does carry a lot of elements. Not only is it a beat 'em up, but you are to shift right over to the premise of the game, which do you want me to explain Fist of the North Star in case people have never heard of it?
Just give like a quick summary.
Alright, so in the far off future of 19XX, because that's how dates are.
Yes, I remember that year.
I remember the era of 19XX.
I just can't remember if this was before or after the Duke of New York took over. AO number 1.
Ayo number 1.
AO number 1. So it's like, the world has gone to ruin because of an undescribed nuclear war. Who cares? The world's just gone to ruin.
Yeah, it's a nuclear war. Big deal. Move on.
And so it's like, yeah, it's like much like all post-apocalyptic settings, the human race thrives in a very brutal brutal breakdown of society, in which the philosophy might makes right is.
Mm-hmm. Not. You there? I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Hold on. Gotta... Okay, gotta wait a bit for not... So, just stand by real quick.
Hello?
Oh!
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Never mind.
Alright, what did you get?
You left off at, humanity thrives in a brutal society.
In a brutal society where the number one rule is might makes right. It's like the strong will take what they will, and the weak, they're just there to die.
but I thought it was it was be the meek who would conquer the earth.
Controlling it, not using it. So it's like in this brutal, post-apocalyptic wasteland, there is one man, the protagonist of this tale, a man only simply known as Kenshiro.
Baddest motherfucker around.
Yes, a man, a power of a man who possesses knowledge and practice a really deadly assassin martial art known as Hakuto Shinken, which literally allows you to touch pressure points within the body to cause your enemies to violently erupt in blood geysers.
Omae wa mo shinderu.
NANI?! Oh,
Shinderu. So it's like, so more or less, like that's, I guess that is more or less just the premise. Like, you follow this man as he is like, the great thing about Kenshiro being the hero is that he's a tall man with a scary martial art, yet he's kind to children, and he stops what he's doing in the cases where people are being threatened. People unable to protect themselves are being threatened. He stops what he's doing. He's like, I'm gonna go kick that guy's ass. So it's like you have a big scary man with scary magic martial arts power, and he's a good guy. It's amazing. It's like so it's like the what ties to this game in that sense is strenuous at best, because the game is modeled after the manga, but it goes into a wildly different direction, so much so that it can be considered a reimagining of the story. Although the game literally starts with the death of the first sort of protagonist of the story, Shin. Kenshiro, violently kills him, as he often does to people, because he took my girl. He took my fiance, and then like just to further humiliate me, he pokes it. Like his fingers are so powerful that he can poke the Big Dipper in my chest.
The only thing that can make this worse is if he went after my dog. Ah, shit! He went after my dog.
So now he must become Fist of the North Star.
Oh, so that's why they call it that. So it's like Shin tells Kenshiro, Yulia is dead. And it's like I wasn't strong enough to protect her. And it's like that's where the manga sort of ends off in that point.
Huh.
It's like Yulia is just dead. It's like Kenshiro lost his chance to save his loved one. He got his revenge, but in the end, it didn't taste sweet. And so
it's a bummer of an ending.
Well, it's not the ending of the story. It's the ending of that arc. So because the next arc then goes into, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go kill my my martial arts brother.
Okay, off topic. I'm playing Fall of Cybertron. I'm playing the Cliff Jumper mission. At one point, there is just a part where you could visibly see that Jazz somehow shrunk. Like, I'm not even kidding. If this was on PC, I'd screenshot it.
And like he just shrinks.
Like there is a scene where, okay, so it's like after you save him, it's the part where he's like working on those computers and you go through the door.
Yeah.
If you somehow go up there, you don't go in, but you can see he's extremely tiny compared to you.
To Cliff Jumper?
Yes.
Huh. I guess that's something you didn't think of, or
I think it's if one day when Not decides to play Fall of Cybertron again and shows us this scene, I could point it out.
Huh.
Because it's I think it's more like they need Jazz to fit in there, and they didn't, and they also thought, oh, it's not like you're gonna go up there anyway, so like you wouldn't be able to actually see it.
But you went up there.
I can, and he is actually very tiny. I don't think it's like an error. I think it's like a trick where they like, okay, how do we show that Jazz is up there despite his model being bigger than that room?
Ah.
Well, we'll shrink him down, but he'll be like comparatively like far away from us, so that way it still looks like he's, you know.
So it's like an illusion.
Yeah, an illusion.
Okay.
Perspective shot.
But he is you can get somewhat close to him, and he is tiny.
That's what we come here for. We come here. You come to this show so that way you can learn about Transformers.
You don't come here for the actual topics. You come here for the tangents.
It's like, oh man, I got so much to tell you about. That's great. That's great, Changus. Let me tell you about what happened in the Transformers game. Oh, I'm listening. So the game is different from the manga.
Game actually brings up after that prologue scene. The game opens up into a brand new adventure to where Kenshiro hears from people that Yuria might still be alive. She was brought to what's being called the City of Miracles, Eden. A thriving, small community that is allowed to prosper because they literally have a hydroelectro plant that gives them that supplies them with fresh drinking water every day.
Huh.
It's like this. It is the literal lost paradise of this game.
Ah.
And so it's like while he's searching for Yulia and engaging with all the strange and weird people of Eden, he also has to fend off the Army of Ruin, and just a bunch of scary, a scary army, like in the name, ruled by a vicious warlord using a technique that is unknown to you. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm allowed to say of the story.
Huh.
For those of you who want to play and find out, really, like, if I do try to boil down the story, it is pretty much the greatest hits of the the Fist of the North Star story, because it's just like, oh man, look, all the favorite characters show up. You get to see Rey, you get to see Toki, you get to fight Thouser, you get to fight Yagi again.
Huh.
So and that really big monster comes back. You get to punch him in the face. It's like if you are a fan of Fist of the North Star, this will be your jam, because it is fan serviced of the wazoo.
Hmm.
So it's like to move right over to the combat, because it is the main core of this game. Like it is a very simple, it is a beat 'em up, in the same vein as the Yakuza series. Like, yeah, it's like, although with one major change, they replaced the core mechanic of grabbing people, like where in the normal Yakuza games where you could just grab people and drag them along, beat the shit out of them, or use their body in beautiful ways using your special moves called heats.
So how did they do in Fist of the North Star then?
In Fist of the North Star, they traded out the special. They traded out the grab with a function called the Meridian Shock. It's just like if you damage an enemy long enough, a special skull indicator on the top of their head will show the circle button. You press the circle button, you stun them in place, and you get. If you press the circle button again near a stunned enemy, you get to perform what is called a special technique, which in this game is what typically in Yakuza you call your heats. Just cool special moves that you can use to inflict a lot more damage onto your enemies.
Okay.
So and the types of stuns and types of special techniques that you can do change depending on your your combos. So, and it's like pretty much it is the standard beat 'em up formula that the Yakuza games perfected. It's very rewarding, very fun, and I think one thing, and I do want to give special mention to very early on in the game, you're allowed the chance of what is called perfect channeling, which is just a meridian shock that you can use that can just completely kill an enemy just through a special time circle press.
Sounds like a quick time event.
Yes, it is like a quick time event.
Okay.
Which the special techniques use quick time events too. In fact, if you use a special technique multiple times throughout many battles, it will level. You will level up that move, and it will cause it will cause it to become more complex and inflict a lot more damage to your enemies. So it's like it's a niche, strange little progression It's surprisingly fun. So, while not in combat, of course, you are limited to at the time a very small hub world, which is surprisingly small for this type of game. Like the original Yakuza, the area that you were contained in Kamurocho, is fairly big for a map, but Eden is comparatively really small, and I think that's because of allowing you to explore a chunk of the wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the trade-off. So like while walking through this hub world, you're allowed to interact with multiple things. You can buy items to, because this is sort of RPG like. You can buy items to have in your inventory that can either refill your health, refill your a special meter called your 7-star gauge, which allows you to go into burst mode, which is your berserker, your ultimate berserker, 5 minutes of supreme strength mode. And other such, like you can buy accessories to buff up your character to make him a bit more resilient to punches and all that stuff. There's there's of course a progression wheel, as all role-playing games have, that focuses on mind, body, soul, and special things you have called talent spins, which are special, which are buff items that you can use to give yourself a special buff.
Okay.
Is a way to describe it. So, and also you're allowed. Famously, what the series is famously what the Yakuza series is known for, it's mini games. Just allow you to play just a host of things, like pastimes to keep you busy, and also they come with their own challenges for you to unlock to further 100% the game. Particular mini games in this game includes Kenshiro becoming a bartender. It's just making drinks that are all they're all named as puns after famous phrases from the series. And also Kenshiro gets to play a doctor, which is different from a medic because he actually heals people instead of tells them
Instead of making their death more comfortable.
more comfortable things. So it becomes a rhythm game where he's healing people while also killing the random thugs that just happen to walk into your clinic.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds beautiful, not.
It's like, and so, and of course, sort of my a favorite sort of mini game, which I don't, it's like a favorite sort of mini game is a staple that carried over from Yakuza 0, where you're allowed to go to engage in a tycoon type setting where you host a hostess club,
Oh. Oh.
Where you manage a hostess club, and you serve customers by picking out which girl would be right for that customer and all that stuff. And it was like, but
Oh.
it's like, what were you gonna say?
It's like control. Control. It's just an episode. Just I don't know. They decide to do another Fist North Star or anime adaptation. Decide for an episode, just for a filler, Kenshiro has to run a hostess club. And just
This 8-foot tall man has to run a hostess club.
yes.
It's like a special thing that this game does differ from Yakuza 0 is like if one of the thuggish type of customers start making trouble in your store, you get to employ disciplinary actions, which just involves using special techniques on them to avoid them harming the girls.
That's amazing. Oh, Matchstick joined the chat. Yo, how you doing, Matchstick?
Yo.
So, and much like Yakuza, you get to engage in sub-stories, which are just fun little asides that have really nothing to do with the main quest, but they're just there. They're just there to give you a cute little, sometimes funny story. That further enriches your experience. Although, I guess one major criticism I can levy towards this game particular is running off the heels of, Yakuza 0, the Yakuza series and the like. The sub-stories here are a lot more weaker. And I think really that has to do with I really think that just has to do with the protagonist role for this game compared to the Yakuza series, because the protagonist of that series, Kazuma Kiryu, he sort of acts in a manner similar to Kenshiro in this stoic. I look like this stoic, scary-looking man, but the difference being is like Kenshiro, he's a big softy himself, and whenever Kenshiro goes, whenever Kiryu goes through, a sub-story. A sub-story, which in a lot of Yakuza games tend to be very over the top and wacky. It's under the situation of watching a very stoic, serious man try to understand, struggle to understand the culture that he's in. It's funny and endearing. It's like, but the problem with this game is, I think they were given a note by
note by who? Uh-oh. Not. No!
I hate it.
Oh.
So what did I leave off on?
You were gonna talk about why it's not as well executed in Fist of North Star, the wacky stuff.
The wacky stuff really doesn't it really doesn't work with this game specifically because I think the developers were given like notes from either maybe the creators of Fist of the North Star or like Shonen Jump. That is like you can't really make a lot of major changes to Kenshiro's character. So he tends to act like whenever something wacky might be happening to him, he acts very stone-faced serious, and that's about it. He rarely engages with the wacky situation, trying to understand. Trying to understand the absurdity that's right in front of him because because normal Kenshiro doesn't care. He's like, oh, okay. So I'm just gonna go over here now. Which becomes a joke. What were you gonna say?
It's like Kenshiro, join us. Does it involve killing people? No. I'll be over here.
Probably a joke in and of itself, but I don't know if it's intentional or not on the developer's part, or just the fact that Kenshiro is just stoked to a fault. So a lot of the brighter spots of the game is very lessened by this decision to keep Kenshiro very flat and stoic. Not allowing him to be, to try to, in his vain attempt, understand the tomfoolery that crosses his path. And overall, I guess. In the end, what I'm trying to kind of close this out is, Fist of the North Star is very much a weird game for when it came out because it was like who under the age of 38 in Japan knows about Fist of the North Star and was clamoring for a Fist of the North Star game. But then it's like it's a blessing. It's sort of a blessing that it does exist because it is very fun, and you could tell that it's a huge love letter to the series. From not only because it is the greatest hits. But not only because it showcases the greatest hits by having all the characters be here, and oh my God, Kenshiro did that thing he did in the manga. And even so, the developers even changed their engine, tweaked their engine a bit from having the photorealistic graphics of the mainline Yakuza series to employ a heavy cell shaded look to try to capture the art style of the manga to a really great success because it looks gorgeous on that front.
All right then.
It's nothing mind blowing as I would say like Yakuza 0 or any of those mainline games, but it is a fun, it is a really fun thing for anyone who likes Fist of the North Star or likes a type of game of this variety. I do have to warn you that it does tend to get the first half is a bit slow. You're mainly going through a lot of setup, and the times you are allowed to control Kenshiro is during fights, Like the world doesn't really open up until around the 6th or 7th chapter. But it's like if you're willing to be patient, there's a fun nut inside the shell.
Okay then. So, and what consoles can you get this game on?
At the moment I'm saying this, it could change, but right now it is only exclusive to the PS4.
So you got a PlayStation 4, you got a chance to play this game. So, alright then. So,
I gotta say this really quick.
okay.
All I can think of, for some reason, my mind immediately went to when he said there's a nice nut inside the shell. All I could think about is, Quagmire, you belong in a tree. You're a nut. and
Of course your mind would lead straight to Family Guy.
funny enough, not just Family Guy, but I would, so, my cat Georgia, who passed away last year, one of my favorite things I did, especially around my sister who hates these kinds of like puns, I would just because Georgia was like the silly one, the crazy one, like the one who'd get in the most weird situations. So I would call her, Georgia, you belong in a tree. You're a nut.
Not even your family is safe from Family Guy references.
Exactly. My sister hates puns, so I do it just specifically to piss her off. Little tribute to my cat. May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah.
Alright. If we got it. You got anything else to say about the game? Or
no?
No?
I guess it is old enough to fit under the range, the special range of you could pick it up for $20. It's a great 5 hour, 9 hour plus experience that you just pick up for $20.
Oh. Alright then. Okay. Well, chat's obviously quiet, so we could just move on to SGD's topic. We are actually powering through quickly tonight. Now, for SGD's topic, I only know about this game because it was like, I don't know how long ago. All I know is I remember watching Markiplier play this game. So SGD, you're talking about totally accurate battle simulator. No, actually, I think it was Jacksepticeye. Fuck. God, it's been a while since I watched those guys.
Yes, that totally accurate battle simulator is a battle simulator where you pit a variety of units against each other for the hell of it. And there's also a campaign mode which has you face off against ever-increasing odds with a limited budget, and you have to work out how to beat those units with the restrictions provided. That does have a variety of factions taking inspiration from various things, being it ancient cultures, mythology, or just whatever they could think of at the time. Like Zeus, New Year's dragon that breathes fire, or archers that shoot balloons. And it's a whole bunch of wacky stuff that too many to name.
Mm-hmm.
So I mostly played the campaign, because you can first people, I just didn't bother. And well, it's a fun game to just mess around with. The campaign is not really as strategic as it could be. Where of course, there's multiple ways to solve a fight, but there's times where it's just you have no clue what to do, and you need to look up what to do. Because the odds are just a little too overwhelming, and then other times they're too easy. Like, I just kept spamming fire-breathing dragons for most of the missions. If that didn't work, I put some more dragons behind those dragons, and that generally did the job. When it comes to overwhelming stuff, probably the most criticism I have of those is you can control your units, and a fair few battles do kind of expect that you will control your units. And when you control units, it's a single control this one unit at a time, which can very much alter the course of a battle. But the fun of the game is kind of watching the units duke it out. So there is entertainment to be found in just controlling a single unit. But there are times like you just want to watch them and not just sit back and relax. There's one mission where like it is impossible to win it without controlling a very specific unit.
Okay.
Because the AI can be ridiculously dumb. Like, you need to place one type of unit, then you need to control that unit, and do exactly what you need to do, or you will lose the mission in seconds. Which is like, that's not fun. There is one specific way to beat this.
Kinda beats the point of the game.
Yeah. A lot of the time it is pretty fun. Like, you can cheesing the game is very fun. So you can place a single unit cleverly on the map and force a bunch of enemies to kill themselves by walking off a cliff or walking into some water. So that you can't do that too much, but it's fun when you can, because you're supposed to use a variety of strategies to beat the game. Another thing is that the game doesn't really allow for a lot of strategy, you could say. Like, generally you need to spam certain units to have a chance of winning the tougher battles. But there is one mission in the Legacy campaign where I actually had to use strategy, where I had to use barrel rollers to eliminate the first wave of enemies, and then the second wave of enemies were defeated by guys with pikes, I think, and then the third wave of enemies were hit by poachers, which are just another type of archer. It would have been nice if more missions were catered to strategic thinking. But otherwise, like, a lot of it is just dumb fun. And the thing about the AI being dumb is sometimes units will get stuck, and they will try and beeline it for the nearest enemy. So if your units get stuck, you're kind of stuck. And there is a couple of things which I'm surprised haven't been fixed at this point. Like, units don't really have... they have sort of a center of gravity in the way they don't function like things from other games, where they'll sort of move along, not like a realistic entity. And that can cause a problem, because if they fall over, sometimes they will not get up. And that cost me quite a few battles. Because I had a strategy where my units couldn't move, because there's a special unit that stops them from moving, and once they're there, the only way to get them to move again is to kill that unit. You can't kill your own units. And so I was in a fight. There was one guy left alive. He had fallen over on the opposite side of the map, so my guys couldn't reach him and kill him. But they can start moving again if someone touches them. That's kind of an annoying bug. And
Wait, so is there a time limit to how long these battles can last?
no.
No?
A couple do have time limits, but that's a survival time limit. Like, you survive this long, you win. But then generally they just end when one side is dead. So it's not an annoying thing to lose, it's just kind of bothersome. Because given the randomness of the AI, you can repeat a battle several times and it will have different outcomes. And another time, a unit glitched through a bridge, and a bunch of bodies had piled up underneath the bridge, so the guy wasn't touching the water, which otherwise have killed him. And the bodies shouldn't have piled up under the bridge because the water flows one way. And that cost me a battle too.
Oh.
So yeah, it is a bit of a... It can be buggy at times. But yeah, like, dumb fun, lots of units to play around with, even though with a game like this there's a lot of redundancy. There's so many ranged units and they all do relatively the same thing.
Okay.
But yeah, there's lots of content to play around with in the campaign, and that's not including custom content, which I didn't play any custom content because they're probably too much to look at. They're just playing with what I paid for. Because if you're talking about a paid game, I'll talk about what the developers have provided. Because, you know, as Bethesda likes to do, relies a lot on the fan community. But you shouldn't rely on your fan community to entertain people.
I see. Okay. So, would you say if this game... So to go back a bit, so would you say, would this game be better if they had you strategize more, like that one level you described?
Yeah, I think I would have enjoyed more things like thought out sort of levels. Because a lot of them are just throwing units at you. And but it would come down to the players. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of strategies you could think up for a lot of them, but a lot of them don't need very in-depth strategy, which is fine, because this is just a dumb fun game.
Okay.
Like, it's not like the name Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, like, that's a joke name. It's supposed to be serious, and it's not a serious game.
Alright. So,
Right, yeah.
how much is this game?
$20 US on Steam.
Were you gonna say something, not?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But yeah, not really much else to say, like, around just pitting units against each other. Like, if that seems like the kind of thing you'd enjoy, then I think it would be a good game to play. Otherwise, if you're not sure you're quite interested, it'd be good to wait for a sale.
Okay then. So there you go.
$20 like isn't a lot of money at the same time.
No, well, like for a game, $20 isn't really that much. It's like $20, okay. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it depends on what kind of game. Is it really worth $20? So, would you say it's worth $20?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Alright.
Yeah, aside from the couple of bugs I had, it was a mostly smooth experience. It did keep me occupied for quite a while, even when I was binging it. So yeah, $20 would definitely, I think, be a good price.
Okay then. So, this seems like your thing. It's $20 on Steam. Alright. So, that said, we can now move on to our next topic. Okay. Oh shit, hold on. Give me a second real quick. Okay, there we go. That's better. Alright, so now we get to talk about a movie I watched recently, featuring and written by Ben Affleck, Argo. Now, unfortunately, Matt Damon was not part of this movie, though rumors were that he did add in a fart. That's my. Damn it, that's just gonna be the Family Guy joke I think of now every time I mention Ben Affleck. Thanks a lot, Nick.
It's kind of funny how you said, he's starring and he's writing in it, and you forget that most importantly, he's directing it.
Yeah, he is directing it. So this is,
Argo by Ben Affleck.
Like,
Can you put my name on it?
What do you mean? No, you didn't do anything. I contributed.
Now you know how it feels, don't you?
Oh, come on, Ben. I contributed, right? Oh yeah. Give me one line, just one line. That was a fart. Got any more
Now
pot?
you know how it feels, Ben.
So this is a movie, pretty much made by Ben Affleck, and starring Ben Affleck, and overall I did enjoy it. Now the movie is based off of a real life event, historically speaking. And this involves the Iranian the Iranian hostage situation, where the whole movie centers around, where basically the okay, so I do want to preface this as anything that I will say that comes off politically is strictly in the context of this movie. I don't really give a shit about politics in real life. So if I say something like, wow, the CIA is really fucked up, that's in the context of the movie. That's not really me saying in real life the CIA is fucked up. That's a completely different subject for another time. So
now, if I say Jimmy Carter fucked this up, that Bill Clinton did to his many mistresses?
Oh no!
To the film, I actually believe that.
Oh, you know what? Just in case, I'm pressing the button.
So, welcome to the abyss. Road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
This is like
Road trip.
Like not if that's how you really do feel about Jimmy Carter in real life, I don't really fucking care. Watching this movie, this is solely in the context of the movie. You could make the argument, at least what was portrayed in the movie, Jimmy Carter fucked up. So I just want to preface that. So the movie took place. Spoiler talk, I guess. So the movie does take some time in the beginning, like a minute or two, to kind of explain the background of what's happening. Long story short, Iran, politically speaking, in the movie, is a fucking shithole. Where just power grabs everywhere, kings and shahs being overthrown 24/7. It's like, and part of it may or may not have to do with the CIA involvement, but that's just it. But again, that's in the movie. That's what they tell you. That's what the movie tells you. And so this has all led up to a really, really tense situation where basically Iranians are now really, really fucking mad and are, I guess, like starting a revolution and stuff. And so the movie takes place at the, I guess, like the peak of the moment of this revolution, where they storm the U.S. embassy in Iran and take all the people there hostage. But the point of the movie is you're not following those hostages per se. You're following 6 U.S. embassy employees who managed to escape the Iranians from taking over the U.S. embassy. And now they're stuck hiding in the Canadian ambassador's home in Iran, in a country where, due to years and years of just political turmoil, now everyone is out there just waiting to grab their hands on an American's neck. So Iran in the movie is a shithole. That's in the movie. And so that's where Ben Affleck's character comes in, who is based off of the real CIA agent who helped rescue those 6 escapees, or as they like to call them, the house guests. And so Ben Affleck stars and plays as Tony Mendes, the famous CIA agent who was able to get those 6 escapees out. And how was he able to get them out? So in the movie, he had this brilliant idea that came upon him by having a conversation with his son about Battlestar Galactica. And having this conversation and watching an episode of Battlestar Galactica with his son, he came upon this really unique idea to rescue the escapees. He and the escapees would pose as a film crew in Iran, and they're scouting there for a science fiction movie. And with that cover, he's going to get them out of Iran. And now, Ben Affleck's biggest enemy in this movie is not necessarily Iran itself, though Iran is a threat in this movie for Tony Mendes. Ben Affleck's biggest enemy is CIA bureaucracy. So once again, bureaucracy, everyone's mortal enemy. So that's fun. That's always fun, having to deal with CIA bureaucracy preventing you from doing your job. Which by the way, that line, "do your fucking job," actually kind of does come back in the movie in a beautiful way, in my opinion. So the movie also starts off by showing Ben Affleck's portrayal of Tony Mendes in this movie as a man who is struggling he's struggling with his position in his job because CIA bureaucracy and let's just say the person he works for in the movie is kind of an asshole, to say the least, and he kind of doesn't like Ben Affleck's Tony Mendes. So he has to deal with that, along with, the U.S. government being a bunch of bureaucrats that's trying to. It's basically the whole movie is just about a CIA agent whose whole specialty is he's an exfil op. He helps people escape, and he has to deal with the fact that he's trying to do his job, and the one thing preventing him from doing his job is not Iran, it's the American bureaucracy. So that's fun to deal with American bureaucracy in the movie, at least. Real life. Even though this is based off of real life situation, I'm not gonna talk about that. In the movie, American bureaucracy is Ben Affleck's biggest obstacle, and so this movie also has a pretty good cast as well. So not only does it have Ben Affleck as Tony Mendes, but they also have Bryan Cranston as his fellow CIA agent Jack O'Donnell, who, by the way, Bryan Cranston, like the final act of the movie where Ben Affleck and the escapees are at the airport, Bryan Cranston really shined. I think that's where he kind of stole the show a bit there, at least for that final act, Bryan Cranston. Because Bryan Cranston is just a great actor in general. I like Bryan Cranston. And then, it's not just Bryan Cranston, you also got actors you also got fucking John Goodman in the movie. So John Goodman is playing John Chambers, who is also a real life person. he was a Hollywood prop author. He was a Hollywood movie prop specialist, and he also has contacts to the CIA, so they could do their spy shit and stuff. And so I knew this movie would be good. Like I was already interested in this movie, and then the minute John Goodman showed up, I straight up said, "Fucking John Goodman! This is gonna be a great movie." Cause John Goodman can really lift a movie up. Well, okay, he couldn't save Transformers, but we can agree that Hound was the best Autobot.
Yep.
Cause it's John Goodman. Like for as shitty as Transformers 4 and 5 were, Hound stood out because it's John Goodman.
Yeah.
I'm like a fat ballerina who kicks ass and scalps con. It's like, oh, I love you, John Goodman. So John Goodman. So like the minute John Goodman stepped onto the screen, I was like, this movie went from good to great. But then also, the movie also stars Alan Arkin as Lester Siegel, who is also a real life person, who was a Hollywood producer, right?
Lester Siegel is not a real life person. Lester Siegel is a combination of two real life people.
Oh, okay. So here I was assuming these were real life people, because it was a story based off of real life. But so who is real and who is fake?
Lester Siegel is pretty much the only character who is not real. Yeah, he's a combination of let me try to remember really quick. Lester. Yeah, his name came from Robert, a man called Robert Sadell, and his personality was based on a film executive called Jack Warner, who many of you may know is the man responsible behind the famous Warner Brothers Studios.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, like he's portraying he's portraying a film executive by pretending, by basing his performance off one of the most famous film executives.
Okay. So you got pretty much an all-star cast, and also while he was a very, very minor role, he was kind of pleasant surprise to see, and he did do a good job. Kyle Chandler was in the movie as Hamilton Jordan, who what was his position? Was he chief of Hold on. Chief of staff.
Yeah.
There we go. So Kyle Chandler was Hamilton Jordan, who was Carter's chief of staff. And if you don't know who Chandler is, he's the guy from Godzilla vs. Kong and King of the Monsters. He was fucking Stranger Things girl's father. I don't even remember the actress's name because I don't really care for her. Ooh. Was, my opinion, not the greatest character in those movies, but Kyle Chandler was. So you got a pretty good cast, and there's not really much to say about the story itself because it's based off of a real life event. They were able to rescue the 6 escapees is from Iran. And then, after a while, eventually then after more bureaucracy stuff, they were able to let all the other hostages in the embassy release and stuff. But that's another thing. But I can say though, the movie, while it is based off a real life event, it is what's interesting is it tries its best to it's trying its best to make a story for Tony Mendes, Ben Affleck's character. Now, I will say, I should have mentioned this earlier. The way I watched this, I watched it on HBO Max. I watched the extended edition. I don't know how much they cut from the original cut. Oh, what they showed in theaters. But I watched the extended edition, and so a lot of scenes in there, I guess, are added where basically it's trying to really portray Tony Mendes as this guy who's trying to do his job, but he's just in a position where everyone kind of just doesn't trust him, or they're kind of strange to him, or don't really like him, except for Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston's his bud, and John Goodman, and Alan. Those three were his buds, but everyone else is kind of iffy with him. Tony Mendes in the movie has a family. He's trying to keep relations with his son, but he is a bit estranged with his wife due to being away a lot of time from his family because of his work as a CIA agent. And so you see, so basically Ben Affleck is kind of in a rough position in the movie, where life itself is not really looking out for him. He's drinking a lot. Ben Affleck chugs down whiskey in that movie like it's nothing. I mean, to be fair, it's Hollywood, so who knows how strong the actual whiskey was. But the Tony Mendes is just chugging down whiskey like it's nothing. Like he's clearly stressed out and an alcoholic. So his life isn't exactly that great. And so, he has to deal with all this stuff. So on top of bureaucracy, he also has to deal with the fact that his relationship with his family is growing more and more estranged the more he continues his job. And so that's an interesting thing, thing they did with his character. The more he does this job, the more estranged he becomes from his family. So it's like he's saving these people's lives, but at the cost of possibly losing his family. I can get what they were going for with his wife, but I don't know. So something about it, the way she was portraying stuff, it felt. I know what they were going for. Is she was kind of estranged, but mostly she disapproved of Tony Mendes' job because it's dangerous. He's a CIA agent. That's a dangerous job. But it kind of came off more as just her. At least for me, it came off more her kind of being kind of a bitch, like oh, I see. Saving these people's lives is more important than our family. Yes. Okay. I know that's not what they were trying to go for. But her performance kind of came off that way. But that's just me. So it's you kind of succeeded at making an estranged wife, but but that's just me. But really. Can I just talk about John Goodman and Bryan Cranston and Alan Arkin again? Like those three actors really shone through this movie. Like just every time they were on screen, they just chewed the scene up, and it was great. I enjoyed every minute they were on. It was like just Alan Arkin playing a fake Hollywood producer who's based off of a real life Hollywood producer he had some of the best lines. Like, so the title of the stream literally fucking called 2 Cents Live. Argo, fuck yourself. That's not a criticism against the movie. That is an actual line in the movie where they're at the press conference where they're doing a script reading of Argo, and then like the guy's just interviewing Lessons, and you know, like what does Argo mean? Argo is a fucking Argo, you know. So it's like an Argonaut. No, it's nothing like that. So what the hell is Argo? Argo can be whatever it wants. So, but what is it? It means Argo, fuck yourself. It's like, and that actually became like a recurring line that everyone says, like every time, like they would say, like, that became like a line of like good luck between Tony and the two Hollywood bros, as I like to call John Goodman and Alan. It's like they're the Hollywood bros. It's like every time they would like wish each other good luck, just like Argo, fuck yourself. Argo, fuck yourself. It's like, God, such a great casting choice, and like all the best lines came from those characters. It's like that. I'm not diminishing Ben Affleck's acting in this movie, nor anyone else. Is like even the actors and actresses who played the 6 escapees, the house guests. They were fine. I liked them, and they did their job. It's just when you have big names like John Goodman and Bryan Cranston in your movies, like you just kind of levitate towards them. Like it's just like, or like you just really love it every time they're on screen, and so I guess speaking of Bryan Cranston, so Bryan Cranston is playing Jack O'Donnell. He's Ben Affleck's co-worker, CIA agent, and he's essentially kind of the guy who's trying his best to anchor Tony Mendes to he's trying his best to anchor Tony Mendes to doing what the government wants him to do rather than what Tony wants to do. And not out of like you gotta do it, but more just like, you know, like, look, Tony, I hate these bureaucracy guys more than you do, but like we got a job to do, man. Just play along for now. And so that's Bryan Cranston's character, and then so one of the, I guess, antagonistic characters of the bureaucracy was this guy. I forgot his name. They're higher up, essentially. Their boss, I guess. I don't think he was the CIA director. Maybe it was, but he was who they reported to. And this guy, I forgot his name, but his whole thing is he's got a hard-on for Ben Affleck. He's like, I don't really like you. It's like, you know, like, it's like, I'm an X-Fil op, man, you know, just let me do my job. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna sit at your desk, get on that fucking computer or whatever, if they even have computers and stuff, and you're just gonna sit there, and that's your fucking job. Don't do anything stupid. I hate you. And so that line, do your fucking job, that's what he says to Ben Affleck, and that comes back beautifully in the final act of the movie, where Ben Affleck where Tony Mendes he decides he's going to get those 6 escapees out without the president's approval, because the fucking bureaucracy in the movie decided, you know what? We know you're doing this mission and stuff, and you're just about ready to get them out, but no, fuck you. Why? Because we said so. You need the president's permission now to get these 6 guys out. What do you want me to do with them then? Fucking abandon them. What the fuck? Do your job. No. If that's doing my job, fuck you. And so Tony Mendes decides to go against the American government's wishes and proceeds to get the 6 escapees out of Iran without the president's approval. And so the whole final act is them essentially racing against the clock to get out of Iran, while the CIA agency is frantically rushing to essentially get reapproval for the exfil to get those 6 guys and Tony Mendes out before they get captured and become a national embarrassment. And so Bryan Cranston's character is just frantically trying to make sure everything goes right. Like, shit, where are the fucking tickets? We canceled them. Order them again. And then so the guy they report to comes out like, who told you could do that? You could do this. Like, they are going to fucking die. And like, I don't care. You are this close to me. Hey, Mr. Jack O'Donnell, you are this close. Oh, am I? Yes, you are. Well, guess what? Fuck you. We're getting them out, and you're gonna get the president's approval. Do your fucking job. And I was like, that is a great callback. Beautiful. And Bryan Cranston really stood out in that scene. It was like, oh, I love you, Bryan Cranston. And then so like they're frantically trying to make sure everyone gets out of Iran as fast as possible before they get caught. And then and the thing is, while you know what's gonna happen because it's a real life story that already happened, they do escape. The movie does still find a way to keep their actual escape very tense without ever a single shot fired. And like, very rarely actually do people use guns. Very rarely are shots fired and stuff. But yet everything is still kept very tense. And so I have to say, Ben Affleck, at least based on his on how he did with Argo, is actually not a bad writer or director. But to be fair, the story is based off of a real life thing that already happened, so there's not too much you can change or work with, but nonetheless, I just based on this movie alone, I felt this is like, if this was like Ben Affleck's if this was Ben Affleck's debut as a director, then I would say he did a strong debut. I say Ben Affleck really knocked it out of the park with Argo. It's just such a shame though that he decided to work with Zack Snyder later on. But that's my opinion. Okay, that was weird. My mic started quitting out for a second. At least on Streamlabs. Here we go. Now we're having the connection issues. Just as I'm about done with my topic, now we start having connection issues. That's beautiful. But overall, I do recommend Argo. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I don't know, if there's another movie directed by Ben Affleck that's just as good as Argo, I'll watch it.
Have you ever seen The Town?
The Town? No. I've been meaning to though. Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got John Hamm, Jeremy Renner.
Alright. Hold on. Is it on HBO Max?
I'm not sure.
Let me look this up. Yes, it's on HBO Max. Okay, I'll probably check out The Town. Ben Affleck himself, he's not a bad actor, nor is he, just based on this movie alone, I think he's a pretty solid director. I think it really just depends on who he works with that affects the quality. Like for example, the DC movies in Zack Snyder's universe, like, I think that was... I think Ben Affleck could have pulled off a good Batman. It's just certain choices were made behind the scenes that kind of limited his performance, in my opinion. Get rid of that fucking voice changer that makes him sound like this, like weird robot. Like honestly, I would rather just get Christian Bale's raspy Batman voice than that weird robot voice changer. But that's just me. So, yeah, I say watch Argo. You guys got anything else to say?
Well, just not to say too much, but it's just with these types of films, you do run into historical inaccuracies, which
I didn't really. Oh, go ahead.
Well, for Argo, it is it is one of the controversies that came out for it, because go ahead.
I could understand that. I don't know, me personally, watching this movie, I don't know how accurate it is to the real life story, if it's even close to it whatsoever. But I'm just saying, like, if you went into this movie without any prior knowledge about the actual real life event, I think you'll enjoy it. If you're concerned about historical accuracy, I don't have an opinion on that.
No, I agree with you fully. It's just, it's like this movie and another movie I always like to bring up, The Hurt Locker, which not historical, doesn't deal with historical accuracy as much as it deals with the accuracy of the occupation of the characters. But it's one of those. It's both films that are really fine, damn fine films.
Yeah.
They're often that had this controversy surround them, where they're because they chose to be a movie and not a documentary. They play fast and loose with a lot of the ideas and or events that happen in their perspective films.
Okay. So, I'm assuming this movie has some jarring inaccuracies that cause such controversy.
I'll just state one. Tony Mendez really didn't have didn't really have as big of a part to play in real life as he did in the film. He was in Tehran for about a day and a half. To try to get the 6 survivors and the 6 ambassadors out, diplomats out of the country. More or less, if you were to talk about anyone talk about anyone based on the real event, they would tell you that the real focus character the real character they should have focused on was Ken Taylor, who is just a bit player in this movie. Because he was the one who helped the CIA came up with the plan of let's pretend that they're a Canadian film crew, and we'll smuggle them out of the country that way. The film does mitigate the importance of Taylor and the Canadian government in favor to go, oh man, look, the CIA came up with this interesting spy thing all by themselves.
Well, even then, it wasn't really the CIA, because at least for me, it seemed like the CIA itself was actively shooting down such ideas, and it's obvious, if any changes they made were to portray Tony Mendes in a more heroic light for his actions. So,
but it's just like the CIA didn't have as much prominence. Like they worked with the Canadian government, but this was the Canadian embassy's moment more so than the CIA.
Okay. Well, again, like I said, I can understand the choices they made. It's meant to portray an American CIA agent in a more positive light, because this is a movie about American escapees and made by an American filmmaker. So it's like what I can understand why they would choose to make it so it looks like America had more of an initiative. Whether you think that's a good thing or not, I don't really care. So
I don't really care. Also, I think it's just Argo is a damn fine film, whether or not it's historic or far.
Yeah, so so I guess if historical accuracy really is your thing, then I'm not sure you will enjoy this movie as much as I did. But if that is not your thing, or if you're, I guess, willing to put aside historical accuracy, I think overall this is a great movie. So that's all I have to say about this movie. Go watch it. I say go watch it. So with that said, since chat has been super quiet because people are just gonna watch this in replay, we have been powering through this fast. We are actually only less than 2.5 hours in. A new record! Yeah! We could go to bed early, boys!
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. We got a Cyberverse to watch.
That's true. Also, I gotta just talk about how much Soundwave loves elephants. That's probably one of my favorite aspects of IDW Soundwave. Is that for some reason
he just really likes elephants.
One day he just decided, I like these creatures.
Yeah, it's just like, I like these creatures. But I guess speaking of Transformers, which is, we can now go to your topic, Nick, which is not really much of a lighthearted subject, to be honest.
No.
It's more of a criticism we've both had as Transformers fans.
Yeah. First, I gotta say, I gotta talk about Soundwave one more time. I love how the epilogue, Buzzsaw is and he's basically defending elephants from poachers, because that's
that's the same Soundwave liked.
Yep. And basically honoring Soundwave. But spoiler alert: Soundwave died.
in the first IDW comics.
Yeah.
But he died at the very end.
Operation Absolution.
Yeah, Soundwave turned out to be a really good character in IDW comics. He turned out more heroic than Optimus Prime. What the fuck were you guys smoking?
Yeah, that's a huge ass problem. Okay. Now I gotta talk about it.
Alright.
Should I lead into this or should I just be blunt?
Dealer's choice.
There's just too much G1. So, I get it. I really do. Because that basically was Transformers. G1, basically that's where everything starts for Transformers.
It's also the most recognizable.
Yes, most recognizable, and how everything has traces from G1, and how there'll always be. So I get it, and I don't want it to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Or obviously relying too much on it. And I was fine with it for like a while. And but then I heard Legacy was gonna happen, where it wasn't just gonna be G1. It was gonna be Prime, it was gonna be Unicron trilogy, it was gonna be stuff from all over the Transformers mythos. And I was like, yes!
You know,
finally!
Cause like so like objectively speaking, the new generation toy lines have been knocking out of the ballpark.
Yes.
So like we were expecting like, okay, so you're gonna apply this new engineering, but for older toys, and to like remake them with this new engineering. That's great.
Yep. And then Kingdom happened. Beast Wars!
Beast Wars!
Where half of the figures were Beast Wars, if not less than half. To be fair, granted, comparatively, it was mostly characters from the show. And granted, there will always be less characters, Beast Wars characters in G1. But still, a lot of them were great. And like a good number of them were, for like half of it was not even G1. And like, yes, and when you tell me Legacy, oh, hold up, I gotta go back to Beast Wars really quick, and okay. IDW, and this is really just this is before the new IDW ongoing came out. I really did not like how IDW handled the Beast Wars characters until the new series.
Oh, are you talking about the old IDW?
Yes, the main continuity IDW.
Where the Maximals were Shockwave's furry pets.
Yes. Not only that, they only got like some of them were on Eucharis. There was an animal planet, and that got destroyed by Unicron. So I don't know if I don't know if even Cheetor or Dinobot are even still around.
Yay!
Which is ironic. Funny enough, I'm talking bad about IDW and Beast Wars, despite the fact that the new ongoing is great, and
the new Beast Wars comic has been really good.
Yes, and the two main series were not that bad either. But the main IDW story
still took too long to get to the war, though.
Yes, the first IDW universe. I hated how they handled the Beast Wars characters, because if they weren't like background characters from the Animal Planet, they were Shockwave's minions, who just got slaughtered by RC. But the worst RC, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? To be fair, I'll be fair and say that she was better than the live action RC, but that's because live action RC is barely a character.
Sam, we'll get you to safety. Shut down.
And if they weren't that, they were villains for the Wreckers. Remember Tarantulas and all the other guys, like Clawjaw, Polar Claw, fucking Stampy.
Yeah. So, wait, Stampy was one of Tarantula's goons?
Yeah, apparently, which makes no sense because Stampy was like the lovable coward.
Huh.
Honestly, considering that they were all Maximals, it doesn't make sense. It honestly felt for the longest time that the writers hated the Beast Wars characters. And then the new ongoing happened, and then I felt, you went, okay, you are partially redeemed.
You win this round.
But I was like, yes, Legacy, let's do it, because it's not just gonna be like G1 and Beast Wars. It's gonna be like all this stuff, like Prime and the Unicron trilogy, and then we got our first images of Prime Bulkhead and Prime RC, and they were heavily G1 stylized. And then my excitement for that entire line was extremely diminished.
I'll still probably get the Stunticons.
I mean, yeah, I will still get some figures, but like, I'm not gonna go crazy like I did with Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you prove that you can do like our characters in G1, and now we're fine. You know what was a better Legacy line than this?
What?
Than Legacy? Thrilling 30.
Oh, that's right. Thrilling 30.
Cause yeah, it was mostly G1, but like, and granted, they mostly had their IDW designs, but like, you had Skybite, fucking Skybite.
Mm-hmm.
You had Rhinox, Rat Trap, Waspinator, Tankor of all characters.
Yeah, Tankor. Both Tankors, though, to be fair, that was just Octane.
Mm-hmm. And you, Armada Starscream.
With a twist, it was just Starscream's redesign in the comics.
Yeah.
But still, it's like the new Armada Starscream.
Yeah. Somehow, it years ago they already did a great Thrilling 30 line. I mean, Legacy line. And they kind of forgot that they could do that with the new Legacy line. And I just feel like, okay, I get it. I understand. G1 is great. But I'm tired of it now. I need a break from it. Because anyone want to say something before I continue?
I understand how you feel, Nick. To go a bit off topic. It's a problem that Gundam deals with. Most of the time, where it's like, oh man, we look at all these different stories and all these different timelines and shows and all that stuff. Well, would you give us more, Bandai? No, fuck you. 1 Year War. We just keep getting constant 1 Year War stories. To the point where technology that shouldn't exist during that time is just shoved into the 1 Year War. Because, why the hell not? And so, yeah, I understand your pain of having to deal with one constant element.
It's page flipping there.
Sorry, I was messing with something really quick. But like, I don't want G1 to go away, but like, when you have characters who are specifically meant to be the characters from like Bulkhead and RC, and they're meant to be the same Bulkhead and RC from Transformers Prime, I expect them to look like the characters from how they looked in Transformers Prime. And I was extremely disappointed because I was really excited to get a Bulkhead with Kingdom leveled engineering.
Yeah.
And to learn that it's really just if you take the Legacy Bulkhead figure, replace the head,
It's not even
new
Bulkhead.
character. Yeah, new character.
So, I told you guys this. I think there's a difference between respecting your past, the originals material, and just being constantly relying on it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's one thing to, like, yeah, we respect G1. That's great. You know, if you want designs to be a little more like G1, okay, fine. It's just, it feels weird when all of a sudden you decide, okay, while we want this new stuff to be a little more like reminiscent of G1, also your old stuff that you liked before, that's also gonna now become more like G1. And it's like, well, we're all for, if you want more new stuff to be like G1, I guess, you know, go ahead, you know, respecting the source material, but then you say also your old stuff is now more like G1. Like, we didn't really ask for that. Too bad.
It's like, oh shit, I had it and I just lost it.
So it's like, and you know what else it is? It's this. We actually discussed we actually talked just very briefly about this last 2 cent stream with when Nod was talking about fan expectations.
Yeah.
This partially also has to do with Transformers fans and, by extension, customers in general, where for some reason the new census is everything has to be like G1.
I think it has something to do with brand unification, but then why even have characters from the other franchises at all? Because they're radically different.
It was like what Nat said. Like, it's like these people. It's like this weird kind of double think. It was like, we want something to be brand new and fresh. Okay, but we also need it to be like G1. That's, well, how can it be brand new and fresh if it's exactly like G1? Do that! Okay.
Thanks, fans. You're fucking your own franchise.
A lot of fan bases are like, we're tired of this thing, and then they rush for the first chance to buy whatever that thing is. Like, the Pokemon community has been complaining about Gen 1 for generations. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee still sold over 13 million units.
It's just
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is a very close remake of the original Gen 1, down to the amount of Pokemon. So it is less of a product than most Pokemon games. But because it's Gen 1, 13 million units.
You know, I've had this interesting hypothesis I've had for a while. I cannot prove it or deny it, so it can't be a theory. It's just completely a thought I had, where it has in my mind. Do you think this visceral fan reaction for everything to be more like G1 is like a counter reaction to the live action Transformers movie and franchise?
I better hope it's not.
Cause like for the longest time, you know, people, and okay, to be fair, Transformers fans for the longest time, even before live Bayformers, have been very autistic. G1ers existed all the way back to Beast Wars, you know, truck not monkey.
Truck not monkey, yeah.
But for the longest time, it's like, okay, we don't. But for the longest time, Hasbro kind of just went like, well, we get your complaints, but we're still gonna do our own unique thing. And I had this hypothesis for a while now, where I felt the live action Transformers movies have had such a negative reaction that people decided, well, obviously, to fix this is we gotta go back to our roots. And what are our roots? G1. So it's like, well, we gotta be more like G1 then. That'll probably fix it. You know, and for the most part, you know, they weren't technically wrong. Like for example, like the Bumblebee movie, like those are probably some of the best live action designs for Transformers I've seen ever. And but the thing is, like, while they are heavily inspired by G1, there's also enough there to make them their own unique designs.
Yeah.
But now it feels like everything is like, no, you can't even do that. It's not even like heavily G1 inspired, but unique. It's like, no, it has to be something straight from the 1984 cartoon.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
What?
The TF Wiki for Legacy, you know how it has the icons and like the pictures and the captions? The captions is finally a generations line where we can add the that we could fully say includes the S. I can't agree with that statement because the characters, because the characters who look like who are supposed to be from a different like continuity and have a different style look like they're supposed to be like G1 like characters.
It's like, so like really the only thing really you could do to stop this, really, you gotta speak with your wallet.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Because right now I feel really conflicted on Legacy. Like, I'm not a fan of what they're doing with all the characters from the other franchises, other continuities from G1. And it's like I don't think I'll ever plan on buying those things. But then Hasbro goes, we'll also give you Stunticons. Shit. It's like well, you got a good thing there, but you got a bad thing here. And it's like it's kind of a lose. You're not in a very good position. It's like, you know, like I know financial loss is the only way you'll listen, but there are still things you are offering that I do have interest in. And it's like,
What sucks is that Legacy's gonna be like the main Transformers thing for 2022 because they delayed Rise of the Beast again.
Yeah, they delayed it to next year. That movie better be fucking good.
It better be fucking good.
If you delay it to not even next year. If you delay it to 2020,
2 years.
If you delay it by 2 years, yeah. If you delay it by 2 years, that better be. I'm not even expecting this to be a good movie. I just want it to be a fun movie.
Yeah.
I better. I don't care if it's bad or not. I just expect to have the best fucking time I've had in theaters watching that movie. Like,
Yeah.
the experience better be good if you're gonna delay it this long.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How, in your guys' opinion, how much do you think this G1, the G1 decision, how much do you think it is these hardcore fans who proclaim to hate G1 but feel the system anyway, compared to casual, like casual consumers who only know Transformers as being one thing and constantly buy the one thing because it really seems like, to me, it's like the most social zeitgeist of the Transformers is G1. It's not Beast Wars, because despite people being nostalgic for Beast Wars, it's often seen as that strange show with the weird animation.
It's honestly kind of both. It's because, like, again, like, it's like G1 is the most recognizable version of Transformers. It's
For a reason.
Yeah,
A reason. I don't want to go. I don't want to go away. It's just.
I think it's just really they're at least for me, it's like it's one thing, like, yeah, it's easily the most recognizable, but at the same time it feels like your brand is gonna start growing really stale if you keep relying on something that's safe and recognizable.
Yeah.
Because, like, Transformers for the longest time has always been a brand about trying to constantly reinvent itself, for better or worse. Sometimes for better, Beast Wars, sometimes animated, sometimes for worse, Energon, the Netflix series. It's like, it's always been a series about trying to reinvent itself. And so it's like, the idea of just it being stagnant kind of feels...
I also gotta say, is Generations is the collector's fan line. Like, that's like the target for that audience is not even like just casual consumers, but the people, like the fans, who obviously want to see these new figures of these characters.
Meanwhile, all the stuff for casual goers or newcomers, what do they have to offer?
Ooh,
We got
Cyberverse. Mainline Cyberverse.
Cyberverse, a great fun show. What do you get to market it? There's a warrior class where Starscream spins.
Literally, it took until
the third.
Now
it took till the third season for them to get good deluxe class figures.
Yeah,
and by then the show was pretty much over. Like, the quote unquote fourth season is just 2 TV movies on Netflix.
Yeah. By the way, watch Cyberverse.
Yeah, watch Cyberverse.
But like, I kind of just wish we got something new, honestly.
Well, but every time we get something new, we get Starscream that spins.
It's like there's no winner.
Actually not when you said, like, are they catering to like fans or casual goers, I would actually argue more so for the fans, because that's the whole point of the Generations lines. The Generations lines is a toy line that it is, while it is marketed and sold, while it is sold as a consumer line for just casual goers, it is marketed as something for or passionate fans of this franchise in general. And so, but the thing is, now it appears Hasbro has been focusing all their attention onto this one line where it is dedicated to these quote-unquote fans. And anything for the casual goers, you get Starscream that spins.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna pull up the fucking Starscream toy. People need to look at what a fucking atrocious figure this is.
Yeah, this is what qualifies as the mainline Transformers. What?
Where's fucking Starscream that spins?
Starscream that spins. It sounds like a. The Starscream that spins. It sounds like a title.
I wish it was.
Comedy series. Starscream becomes a figure skater.
I'm trying to find a good. Here, the packaging though does. Cause I'm gonna try to find a good shot of the packaging because it usually shows the gimmick, so people know what exactly we're talking about. God damn it! Why are there? That's right. Warrior class started with robots in disguise. I gotta be specific. Cyberverse, Starscream. Damn it! Come on! I just want a shot of the packaging to show that it spins. Okay, here we go.
Because this is obviously when I did posit that question, it does come down to a question of what is making the most money.
Yeah.
Well, right now their big money bank seems to be the Generations line.
Yeah.
So okay, here we go. I have a window pulled up for the stream. Here, I'll just post these images in the back room so you guys know what I'm talking about. This is the Cyberverse Warrior class Starscream toy. First of all, look at the lack of paint it has.
Oh yeah, that is
Goodness.
I've heard of figures that look disgusting because of too much paint. This looks disgusting because there's not enough.
Like, I get why you don't have that much paint. It's so, it's like, less... Because Jobby talked about this in his reviews, like, less paint usually means, more... You could play more with it. You could toss and tumble with it a lot more, and it has less damage.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But then comes the question of... why not even make the figure fun?
Yeah, so this figure... not NSG. This Warrior class Cyberverse Starscream, its whole gimmick is that that there is a waist swivel that is like spring loaded, and you can wind it up, and he spins.
That could be fine if the legs moved.
Oh yeah, the legs don't move.
And if the transformation wasn't just...
Okay, just sit him down. Okay, just fold him in half.
That's it.
Flip out the cockpit, there you go.
It's insultingly simple.
It's pathetic. People have actually been complaining, though, for a long time about, like, these... Like, the one-step changers and stuff, though... But the thing is, Hasbro isn't gonna stop, because at the end of the day, technically people still do buy this. And so as long as people still buy this, unless people like stop buying this to the point where like Hasbro gets numbers and goes, okay, this specific line is clearly not doing well at all. It's like, but like this is for the casual goers. This is what you get for casual goers now.
This I will not buy this for a child on his birthday party.
No.
Yeah, that's... the only way you'd buy it is if you pitied it.
I don't pity it though.
It's like this is like Toy Story. And it's like that Megatron, no, that Starscream figure lives in constant existential torment of being terrible.
God, now I feel bad. Now I gotta go find one. Just give it a home. See what you made me do?
Damn it, not you made me feel bad for a terrible figure.
Am I talking to Hasbro or not? Yes.
I didn't even just tell you what the worst part about that figure was. The fucking gimmick doesn't even work half the time.
No, it doesn't.
Like you're supposed to wind up the upper torso and then it spins on a spring. Half the time it doesn't even work.
I'm worried because now I feel like if I would do it ironically, and like if I were to make videos, he'd be like the joke character, like he'd be the Waspinator. But if I feel like I do that, I'm gonna start unironically loving him.
Oh my god!
Just because, yeah, he has a purpose. He's supposed to be.
He has a purpose. He's supposed to be trashed at, and like, ah, oh, damn it! I gave him purpose. Shit!
I actually feel bad. Dang, I actually feel something for this.
God damn it, not!
But like...
One wrong. It's one wrong. Worthless.
But like... Look, again, I don't want G1 to go away. I understand. It's just... I kind of want... I need something new, man. I need something original for this IP.
It's...
Because how much longer are you gonna rely on Generation 1 before you've already done everything?
It's... You know, it's... you know, honestly, the Unicron trilogy figures in Legacy are probably going to be alright, because let's be honest, those designs are already pretty close enough to G1.
I'm not worried about the Unicron trilogy ones, because hell, you can make Sideways out of the Prime RC figure.
Yeah. Oh god. Nick, what if they start doing G1-fied animated figures?
How would you even do that?
They found a way to G1-ize Bulkhead.
But that's Prime Bulkhead. Animated...
But Prime Bulkhead himself was pretty round, too.
It's true. But here's the weird thing. Animated was like G1 but stylized.
I guess, but then... So I guess if they were to make Legacy of those guys, they would just be more G1 figures then?
I guess, because really the hard thing is how to do more animated figures. Like, well, I mean, without stylization, again, you would... really, the only one would be a motorcycle prowl.
They could probably just repaint RC.
Again. I see a lot of uses for that mold.
Actually, Nick, I just had to stop. Okay, hear me out. All right. So this was let's travel back in time. Titans Return. Titans Return.
Okay, good, because I was worried about I was gonna see the I am the Lord of the Lords on the neighbor of Ben.
Okay, let's go forward a bit. Just go forward.
Hey, can I go off my jeans for? Can I turn my jeans to cutoffs for swimming?
Ah, fuck it. He's ready. Okay, so go back to Titans Return.
Okay.
Do you remember Astral Train and Sentinel Prime?
Yes.
Do you remember how Sentinel Prime came before Astral Train?
Yes.
Now let's go back. RC just is now released. That can easily be retooled into Sideways, Ransack, or any other motorcycle transformer. Do you see a pattern?
Yeah.
So this was a thing that people picked up on back in Titans Return. It's not just Sentinel Prime and Astral Train. It was for a lot of things. Like, for example, Titans Return, Triple Changer or Megatron, that easily got repainted and retooled into Blitzwing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Back then, people like to call what Hasbro was doing as quote-unquote pre-tooling. Where basically they sold a mold for a figure, but people can look at the figure and go, this mold can clearly work for a completely different figure. A completely different character. Do you think that's what they're doing with Legacy? They're taking characters from different continuities and pre-tooling them for G1 characters?
You know, it's entirely possible. Because that is clearly Sideways' alt mode.
So I think what they're doing is
so they're just making you could probably say something better than I could, because
I guess conspiracy theory time. Put on your tinfoil hats. You think they're pre-tooling characters from continuities that have very unique designs, and then just you're gonna use those molds for like Unicron Trilogy or more G1?
Wow, that feels... I can't find the right word. It's not good, though. It's not a good word.
So here's another thing. So if you're a fan of Transformers and you're a customer of their products, I highly recommend you guys check out the Transformer Slag podcast. Oh no, the British are gonna be angry at me. I said Slag. Oh, too bad. Slug is not Slug. His name is Slag. It means hot metal. It doesn't mean slut. At least here in America. So, I highly recommend you check out the Transformer Slag podcast. The guy, he goes by Proto Man. He used to work for Hasbro, and he has contacts in Hasbro, and he also has a Patreon where people can, and if you commit to their Patreon, you can ask questions for his podcast. And his podcast is really just like little a few minute segments, at the most like half an hour, to talk about certain subjects. And
sounds familiar.
Here I'll link it.
Sounds familiar.
Here, hold on. Here.
No, I have no idea where I'm getting this.
Oh, never mind then.
I have no idea where I'm getting this idea.
Here, I'll just let me go to their channel and I'll link it in the chat.
I mean, I mean, the whole concept. Everyone's like have like half hour to talk about a topic. I have no idea. Why this is ringing a bell to me.
No, but you see, Nick, we're different.
Anyway, back to the topic.
Yeah. But okay, no, but one, Nick, we're different because we take more than half an hour.
Yeah.
So this guy, he answers a lot of questions involving like the figures and what's going on with Hasbro. So this is really just me trying my best to piece together what's going on. So one of the things he did say was how each line is on a budget, and they have a certain amount of money to do a certain line, and he says another common practice with Hasbro, which to be fair, it has always been a practice with Hasbro from the very beginning, is if you can sell a mold twice and more times, then keep doing that. That's why we have the Seekers.
Yeah.
So it really makes me think it's a business practice, obviously, to save money, but at the cost of, I guess, like, I don't know, would disrespect be appropriate? Because if this is their common business practice, which to be fair, this is what toy companies do in general, which I guess really our complaints is more or less just how the industry works.
I guess.
I guess, but that doesn't mean I still can't, voice my complaints.
Yeah, you think they wasted all their budget on Kingdom?
You think that's the case?
It's possible. Because they got a lot of really great and new molds with it.
How often are Gunpla model kits reused to create completely new kits?
Almost all the time, because one thing you have to notice about a lot of the kits is they all have it's looks like the show, like they all have a uniformity. After all, a Gundam rarely ever changes its shape.
Okay, I guess.
Like Wing Zero looks like Wing Zero if you aesthetic wise, well, if you ignore the aesthetics and you focus on the silhouette, it looks no different from it would look no different from the RX-78 with a few details added on.
Okay, then I guess that wasn't much of a fair comparison, because two franchises are going for two different things. I don't know. You got anything else to say, Nick?
Basically, it's like I don't want to get rid of G1 because there are even some things from G1 I would like to see.
No, don't get rid of it.
Obviously. I mean, it's literally the backbone of Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
However, the skeleton isn't just the backbone. Yeah, because I would like to see not just some stuff like Unicron trilogy and stuff like that, in Prime, and basically some new stuff as well. But like I wouldn't mind seeing some, because I would like some love for like the older franchises. How much you want to bet we're actually gonna get a Robots in Disguise figure in Legacy? Oh, right, Scourge.
Scourge.
He's most definitely gonna happen with Laser Prime.
Yeah, why haven't they announced that yet, though? It's like the most obvious repaint, and people will eat it up. Because to be fair, Scourge is great.
Yeah. See, they're building up the anticipation.
Ah.
But yeah, I would like to see some older stuff. But I would also really like to see some new stuff.
Actually, you know.
I'm gonna be honest. I want a mass retail Nautica figure.
You really love Nautica.
Yeah. I'm trying to find better words, but I'm like, yeah, I just might as well just say yes.
Yeah.
It's easier. But I want Nautica Fulcrum, because if we're getting a new crankcase, complete the scavengers, man.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I just want the main cast of Robots and not more than MECI.
The scavengers. You know what's a line actually though? It's a subsidiary line of Generations, but you know what's actually a line that has actually been getting more love? You just think about
Series 86?
Just Studio Series in general.
Yeah, and that's like the movie line.
So really, if
and
do you think Legacy is a hold on? Do you think Legacy is just a placeholder till Rise of the Beast comes out?
It's possible. I don't know though. I'm like, I could go either way, really.
Cause lately, a lot of the love has been really given towards the Studio Series line, like the new Bumblebee Studio Series stuff that was just announced. They look great.
Yes, they look great.
That wheeljack and the Soundwave.
Yeah. You know it. It's possible it might be a placeholder.
Do you think Generations? Do you think that's the way they're gonna go forward? They're gonna focus more, so Studio Series 86 was actually meant to be all for Kingdom, but then they decided let's experiment. If we release these figures through a Studio Series and it goes well, then we'll continue doing this. Do you think that's the way they're gonna go forward? The Generations lines, like Legacy itself, is just gonna, while they do get the good engineering treatment and stuff, the main focus will be Studio Series.
It's possible. I kind of hope not, because I also don't want the whole line to be movies in G1.
Yeah.
It's like I can't. Okay, so if I were to run Hasbro, I'd do 3 lines: movie, Generations, original. I do some. I do a new Transformers IP.
But that new IP gets the same love that Generations and Studio Series has?
I'd say it would get around the same love that Prime did. like the Robots in Disguise wave of Prime, not Robots in Disguise the cartoon, but like the actual the second wave, like before, like after first edition, where they're not as great as Prime as Generations, but like they feel like you could give a kid to it, and like it would be solid figures, like the new Cyberverse figures. The new Cyberverse.
The new deluxes?
Yes, the new deluxes, which are actually good, not like Starscream.
I guess
that's what I would do.
For me though, I would honestly just give every line the same love Generations does. Just because
I mean, yeah, same. But if I were to go logically, I'm pretty sure that would get cut back. But I would at least make sure the budget is enough to have the figures. You'll have fun with the figures, basically.
I just want the same engineering apply to, like, Cyberverse Soundwave.
Oh yeah. Did you get the new Cyberverse Soundwave figure?
No, he's not.
I think it. Last I checked it, I saw one where he was in stock.
Was it Target or Walmart?
It was at Walmart, of all places. Of all places! The one place where it's not stocked, I saw a Soundwave.
Wait, Deluxe or Warrior Class?
Deluxe. Funny enough, though, the Warrior Class, not bad either.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's gimmicky, but, like, he's not terrible. I actually have fun with this Soundwave.
Oh my god.
You wanna know why? Because the gimmick doesn't break the figure.
Cyberverse Deluxe Soundwave does kind of have just the roof of the car kind of hanging down.
I don't know if that's what was I gonna say? I don't know if that's like mistransformation or not.
I think that's part of the figure itself.
I mean, it's possible, but I haven't seen like in-hand images of it. I've only seen the stock photo.
Fair enough. Oh god, the aftermarket fucking sucks though. Deluxe.
Night not.
Oh, good night, not.
Good night, guys.
All right. Well, we are just going on tangents now, but
yeah.
But long story short, well, you finish up. You finish your topic off.
So I just kind of wish we stepped back from G1 and go check out some older stuff and do some new stuff, basically. Because I'd like to see more Unicron trilogy. I'd like to see more Prime. But honestly, I'd also really, really like to see something new.
Like Cyberverse.
Yeah. And so, you know what? Even more different than Cyberverse. Because, let's be honest, Cyberverse really it relies on the evergreen designs, which are very G1 heavy. But, basically, like, have you seen, like, let me see. I've just typed in Soundwave redesign because I already had something with Soundwave on it.
You know what? What about something like designs like in Prime, where while they were very unique, they were able to capture
something like that. Something like that.
Like
definitely some.
Like Prime Starscream, like he's very unique, but yet he captures everything Starscream is.
Exactly, something like that.
All right, let's see what you. Are you gonna post something, or are you gonna like send?
I was, but then you basically summed up what I wanted.
Oh, never mind then.
Although I did find like an old picture, long time ago of Soundwave, but he turned into a police car.
Huh. That's interesting. See, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, do something unique. Don't be afraid to, take a leap, take a big leap. If that's what this brand is about. It's constantly reinventing itself for better or worse.
Here it is. Here's how I'm gonna start with a new IP. If this was a show, no Optimus Prime. The main character is Orion Pax.
That's very daring. I like it. However, logistically speaking, that's never gonna happen because Hasbro needs to keep the trademark for the name Optimus Prime, because believe it or not, the name Optimus Prime is a trademark that needs to be constantly renewed.
Yeah. Well, we got like the movies for that.
I guess, but then that would mean like every year that means they have to plan ahead. That means they have to really plan ahead. Like every year the name is going to expire, they need to have a movie ready to be released that same year. Or at least
be ready to make a different figure for like generations.
I guess.
Yeah. Because okay, so Optimus doesn't happen until the end of season 1. So maybe you could fit an Optimus Prime figure for Wave 3.
For Wave 3?
For the first year.
That would be interesting. I guess. We could talk more about this though afterwards.
Yeah, we got.
Your and my topic took the longest, so we did end up reaching the 3-hour mark. So
I blame Transformers.
But it's such a great franchise though.
It is. It really is.
Yes, it is.
Honestly, we should probably just do another Transformers special. But oddly enough, we don't even have like set topics. We just end up talking about Transformers.
We just talk about Transformers in general.
Yep.
Well,
that'll be 3 hours on its own.
we got to plan ahead of time for that, just to make sure, because like I said, I don't want to have another case of like with special streams where like I don't really know how to talk about this. To be fair, I didn't really give you much time to get ready.
Yeah.
So.
The store will be closing in 5 minutes.
Alright, so with that said, I think we can close off. So I'm just gonna mute you guys real quick while I close the show off. Okay, so that was the show tonight. We did end up reaching the 3-hour mark after all, despite all our efforts. So there is that. No, not many people. Actually, no. Let's be honest. Rarely anyone came tonight to see this live. You guys are probably going to be watching this through the replays. Which, to be fair, it's daylight savings time just happened last week. So everyone's kind of had a. It just feels kind of like it's been kind of a shitty week in general. But, It is what it is. I don't know. But, so next week, next Saturday will be... I'm hoping it will be a considerably shorter stream because we'll just be talking about one thing. It's just me reviewing a comic book live with some of the other guys' input here and there. And it'll be much shorter. Hopefully. So, because of that, I do hope I can schedule this stream much at an earlier time. And Also, to be fair, now that I think about it, the low turnout probably is because I didn't really advertise the stream as heavily. Like, usually I would, like, upload a video onto YouTube saying, hey, I'm streaming tonight, and, you know, I would go on social media like, hey, I'm streaming tonight. I didn't really do that because, well, it's been a shitty week. Let's just say that. But that was this week. Sunday's tomorrow. Start of a brand new week. So hopefully things will be better. So next Saturday is 2 Cents live review. Just one subject. Hopefully will be a shorter topic stream. Hopefully we can schedule it at an earlier time so everyone's awake. And other than that, check out Micah Curtis's Inglewood Book 2. You can also check out, I also forgot, you can check out Miss Serena's stuff. SGD posted her Twitter and the mailing list for it. Her Twitter is Magic Girl Media, and the mailing list for her Indiegogo comic book, Black Rhapsody Part 1, is also in the chat from SGD. Just gotta scroll up. So, with that said, I'm going to end the stream here. Let me just mute the music, and let me just make sure our transitions are good. Okay then. So with that said, I'm Genghis Khan, and this was 2 Cents Live.